नमस्ते। आज के इस एक्सप्लेनर में आपका स्वागत है। बिना किसी देरी के चलिए सीधा काम की बात पर आते हैं। आज हम एक ऐसा कॉम्प्रहेंसिव रोड मैप डिकोड करने वाले हैं जो एक कैजुअल एआई यूजर को सीधा एक सुपर प्रो डेवलपर बना सकता है। हम वो सब कुछ देखने वाले हैं जो आपके कोडिंग करने के तरीके को पूरी तरह से बदलने वाला है। तो आज का हमारा एजेंडा क्या है? हम एआई टूलकिट को नेविगेट करने से लेकर प्रोजेक्ट्स को ऑर्गेनाइज करने, फ्री और पेड फीचर्स को समझने, कस्टम एआई एजेंट्स बनाने और आखिर में प्रॉम्प्ट इंजीनियरिंग में मास्टरी हासिल करने तक का पूरा सफर तय करेंगे। चलिए अपने पहले सेक्शन से शुरुआत करते हैं जो है एआई टूलकिट को नेविगेट करना। अब यूआई में कुछ ऐसे शानदार छुपे हुए फीचर्स हैं जो सच में कमाल के हैं, जैसे डीप रिसर्च, वॉइस मोड और खास तौर पर टेम्पररी चैट्स। मान लीजिए आप एक मेन फ्लटर ऐप पर काम कर रहे हैं और साइड में कोई छोटी सी पाइथन स्क्रिप्ट रन करनी है। टेम्पररी चैट्स का फायदा ये है कि आपका पाइथन का डेटा आपके मेन फ्लटर प्रोजेक्ट की मेमोरी को दूषित नहीं करेगा। आपकी मेन मेमोरी एकदम क्लीन रहती है। और फिर आता है कैनवस। ये फीचर तो लिटरली गेम चेंजर है। जब आप कोड लिखवाते हैं तो कैनवस चैट विंडो के अंदर ही एक डेडिकेटेड वर्कस्पेस या कह ले एक मिनी आईडीई की तरह काम करता है। यहीं पर आप बिना चैट छोड़े अपने कोड को फॉर्मेट, विजुअलाइज और सीधा ट्वीक कर सकते हैं। आगे बढ़ते हैं हमारे दूसरे टॉपिक पर, प्रोजेक्ट्स और वर्कफ्लो को ऑर्गेनाइज करना। ये आपकी एफिशिएंसी के लिए बहुत ज़रूरी है। देखिए, अगर आप अलग अलग डेवलपमेंट टास्क्स मैनेज कर रहे हैं तो एक डेडिकेटेड प्रोजेक्ट वर्कस्पेस बनाना बहुत ज़रूरी है। आप इसमें अपने आर्किटेक्चर डॉक्यूमेंट्स और यूआई मॉकअप्स अपलोड कर सकते हैं। सबसे बड़ा फायदा, एआई का फोकस एकदम लेजर शार्प रहता है। वो किसी और डेटाबेस की डिटेल्स यहाँ वहाँ से हेलुसिनेट नहीं करेगा और सब कुछ एकदम सॉर्टेड रहेगा। ऐप कनेक्टर्स इस आइसोलेशन को एक अलग ही लेवल पर ले जाते हैं। ये आपके एक्सटर्नल टूल्स जैसे गिटहब, गूगल ड्राइव और फिग्मा को सीधे एआई वर्कस्पेस से लिंक कर देते हैं। मतलब एआई खुद रिपोजिटरी रिव्यू कर सकता है, नई ब्रांच में कोड पुश कर सकता है, यहाँ तक कि थर्ड पार्टी इंटीग्रेशन के जरिए फ्लाइट्स भी बुक कर सकता है ना कमाल? तीसरे सेक्शन में चलिए एक बहुत ही कॉमन कंफ्यूजन दूर करते हैं, फ्री वर्सेस पेड फीचर्स। जहां फ्री टियर में आपको लिमिटेड मॉडल्स और बेसिक चैट मिलती है, वहीं पेड टियर ऑटोनॉमस एजेंट मोड को अनलॉक कर देता है। ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है। यहाँ एआई सिर्फ एक टेक्स्ट जनरेटर नहीं रहता, बल्कि एक डूअर बन जाता है। साथ ही गिटहब कनेक्टर्स और फास्ट जनरेशन भी आपको इसी में मिलते हैं। पर्सनल प्लान के लिए महीने के लगभग 400 रुपये का खर्च आता है, लेकिन अगर आप इसे रोज हैवी कोडिंग के लिए इस्तेमाल कर रहे हैं तो ये 400 रुपये आपको वो स्पीड और हायर लिमिट्स देते हैं जो सच में आपके घंटों का समय बचा सकते हैं। चलिए चौथे सेक्शन पर चलते हैं। ये अल्टीमेट पावर मूव है, कस्टम एआई एजेंट्स बनाना। कस्टम जीपीटी को आप एक हाईली स्पेशलाइज्ड इंटर्न की तरह मान सकते हैं, जिसे आपने सिर्फ एक खास काम के लिए ट्रेन किया है। इस तरह से सोचने पर यह समझना बहुत आसान हो जाता है कि कैसे ये एजेंट्स आपकी बोरिंग और रिपीटेटिव डेवलपमेंट टास्क्स को खुद ब खुद हैंडल कर सकते हैं। मान लीजिए आपको एक फ्लटर कोडिंग कोच बनाना है। आपको बस उसका रोल डिफाइन करना है, कुछ बहुत ही स्ट्रिक्ट बिहेवियरल इंस्ट्रक्शंस देने हैं, जैसे कि आर्किटेक्चर इंप्रूवमेंट सजेस्ट करने से पहले हमेशा डीबगिंग पर फोकस करो और फिर अपने कॉन्टेक्स्ट और कोड फाइल्स अपलोड कर दीजिए। आपका एजेंट बिल्कुल तैयार है। और फाइनली हमारा पांचवा सेक्शन, इन सारे फीचर्स की चाबी, प्रॉम्प्ट इंजीनियरिंग में मास्टरी। प्लीज एआई को एक बेसिक गूगल सर्च इंजन की तरह ट्रीट करना बंद कर दीजिए। शॉर्ट क्वेरीज के बजाय एक प्रो डेवलपर शुरुआत से ही डीप कॉन्टेक्स्ट, पर्सोना और आउटपुट फॉर्मेट के कंस्ट्रेंट्स प्रोवाइड करता है। आप जितना सटीक इंस्ट्रक्शन देंगे, रिजल्ट उतना ही बेहतरीन होगा। और यहीं पर सिंगल शॉट या फ्यू शॉट प्रॉम्प्टिंग काम आती है। अगर आप प्रॉम्प्ट के अंदर ही आउटपुट स्ट्रक्चर का एक या दो सॉलिड एग्जाम्पल दे देंगे तो एआई के गलती करने के चांस लगभग खत्म हो जाते हैं। इससे आपका बार बार प्रॉम्प्ट रिफाइन करने का टाइम बच जाता है। ये एक लाइन हमारी पूरी फिलॉसफी को समेट लेती है। सिर्फ सर्च मत करें, इंस्ट्रक्ट और कंस्ट्रक्ट करें। सिंटैक्स को पैसिवली सर्च करने का जमाना गया। अब वक्त है अपने इस डिजिटल को पायलट को एक्टिवली गाइड करने का। तो अंत में एक बड़ा सवाल, क्या डेवलपर्स अब बॉयलरप्लेट कोड लिखना छोड़कर ऑटोनॉमस एआई वर्कफ्लोज को मैनेज करने के लिए पूरी तरह तैयार हैं? सोच कर देखिए, क्योंकि कोडिंग का फ्यूचर अब सिर्फ कोड टाइप करने में नहीं, बल्कि इस एआई टीममेट को सही डायरेक्शन देने में है। आज के इस एक्सप्लेनर में हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया।
Right now, I mean, somewhere in the world, there's like an autonomous AI agent scouring the internet for the cheapest flights.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. It's cross-referencing that data with a corporate calendar. It's booking the tickets and, updating a team's Slack channel all on its own.
Yeah, without any human input at all.
Exactly. But meanwhile, you, the learner, listening to this deep dive, well, you're probably still using ChatGPT to rewrite a slightly awkward email to your boss.
Which is, I mean, it is the defining bottleneck of our current technological era. It really is.
Yeah, for sure.
We have access to, honestly, the most sophisticated reasoning engines ever created.
Mm.
But we are conditioned by, what, 25 years of Google?
At least.
Right, so we treat them like basic search bars. You type in a query, you get a block of text, you copy it, and you leave.
And that's it.
That's it. That interaction leaves almost all of the actual computational power completely untouched.
Okay, let's unpack this, because today's mission is to completely dismantle that habit. We are taking a massive stack of notes from a really comprehensive, developer-focused 2025 masterclass by the YouTube channel WSCube AI and Tech School.
It's a fantastic source, really detailed.
It is. It's titled ChatGPT AI Full Course. And the goal here is to upgrade you, the listener, from a casual prompt typer to an absolute power user.
A completely different league of user.
Exactly. We want to transform AI from a neat little text generator into a personalized, autonomous coworker. But to do that, I want to understand what is actually happening under the hood, Let's look at the workspace itself.
The foundation.
Right. The masterclass emphasizes that the gap between the free tier and the paid tiers, like Plus Pro, Team, it's no longer just about faster response times.
No, not at all. The underlying architecture is entirely different now.
How so?
Well, on the free tier, you're generally interacting with a lighter model. It's focused on speed and basic pattern recognition.
Okay, that makes sense.
But when you upgrade, you're accessing the frontier models. Like, they mentioned the newly rolled out GPT-5 framework in the source.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And more importantly, you unlock specialized interaction modes that fundamentally alter how the neural network approaches your prompt. It's not just the same brain working faster, it's a different brain.
Right, because if you click that little plus oak button in the interface, you get a menu of these modes.
Exactly.
So let's talk about deep research first, because my initial thought when I saw that is, well, how is this different from just asking a normal question? Doesn't the AI already know everything from its training data?
Oh, that's a huge misconception. It knows the statistical probability of words based on its training data.
Right.
In a standard chat, it uses next token prediction to generate an answer. So it's essentially giving you a highly educated mathematical guess based on frozen data.
I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
But when you toggle deep research, you completely change the AI's objective function. Instead of just guessing the next word, it generates a search plan.
Oh, interesting.
It actively reaches out to the live web. It crawls multiple databases, cross-references conflicting information, and synthesizes a research paper-level response.
So it's actually doing the legwork.
Yes. It transitions from a static encyclopedia to an active research assistant.
Wow. So it's actually validating the data in real time.
Exactly.
That's huge. And then there is the study and learn mode. I found this one fascinating because it essentially cripples the AI's ability to just give you the answer.
It does. It's completely counterintuitive at first.
Right. But if you are a student or if you're trying to learn a complex data concept for work, this mode forces the AI to act using the Socratic method.
It becomes a mentor.
Exactly. It looks at your work, identifies where you went wrong, and asks you a leading question to guide you to the solution. It doesn't just do the homework for you.
It deliberately restricts the output parameters to help you learn.
Yeah.
But, if we want to talk about restricting output for the sake of quality,
Yeah.
the most critical toggle is think mode.
Oh, this is the one where the UI literally shows the AI pausing, right? Like it's taking a breath.
Precisely. Because under normal circumstances, an AI model begins outputting the first word almost instantly.
Right. It just starts typing.
Yeah, it is basically thinking out loud. But think mode utilizes what computer scientists call chain of thought reasoning.
Chain of thought. Okay, break that down for me.
When you activate this, the AI creates a hidden scratch pad. It breaks your problem down into steps, generates a potential solution, and then, and this is the crucial part, it critiques its own solution.
Wait, really? It argues with itself?
Yes. It looks for logical flaws, discards the bad paths, and only after it has internally debated the logic does it produce the final answer for you to read.
That makes total sense. It's like the difference between me blurring out an answer in a meeting versus, taking 5 minutes to sketch out my argument on a whiteboard first.
That's a perfect analogy.
But speaking of whiteboards, the masterclass highlighted a feature called Canvas, and I actually want to push back on this a bit.
Okay, let's hear it.
So Canvas opens up a separate dedicated window next to the chat, almost like a Word document or a coding IDE where the AI writes and formats the code or the text.
Yep, a split screen.
But why is this necessary? Like, why can't I just have it write the code in the regular chat and then I just copy and paste it into my own software? What is Canvas actually doing that the chat can't?
Well, the major limitation of a chat window is that it is chronologically bound.
Chronologically bound, meaning what exactly?
It is a linear stream of text. So if you have the AI write, say, a 500-line Python script in the chat,
Okay.
and you realize line 42 has a bug, you tell it to fix the bug. In a chat, the AI basically has to generate all 500 lines again just to show you the fix.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's annoying.
It wastes a ton of time and compute power. Canvas changes the interface from chronological to spatial.
Spatial?
The AI maintains the state of the document. You can highlight just line 42, and the AI will surgically edit only that line without disrupting the rest of the ecosystem.
Oh, I see.
It becomes a shared collaborative space, not just a text thread.
So it can actually visualize the UI elements or run the code directly in that space.
Exactly.
But this leads me to a broader question. If I have the AI doing deep research to find the data, and then it is writing, testing, and debugging the code spatially in Canvas.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not really a programmer anymore. I'm just a middleman. Aren't we just becoming project managers for robots?
Well, that implies project management is a lesser skill.
Fair point.
What the source points out is a fundamental skill shift happening right now. The premium on knowing the exact syntax of a programming language is dropping rapidly.
Because the AI knows it perfectly.
Right. But the premium on systems thinking, the ability to orchestrate multiple tools, define strict parameters, and review complex architectures, that is skyrocketing.
Okay, so you are moving from the bricklayer to the architect.
Exactly. You're designing the building, not mixing the mortar.
But if I'm the architect, I feel like I have a major logistical problem. Well, if Canvas and these models are so good at maintaining the state of a project, what happens when I switch tasks?
Yes.
The masterclass brings up a great scenario. Say I'm building a mobile app in Flutter, and I've been working with the AI on it all week. Then on a Friday afternoon, I decide to use the exact same chat window to ask a highly specific question about, I don't know, a Python database script.
You've just committed context pollution.
Context pollution, exactly. And the source warns heavily about this. If you dump that Python question into your ongoing Flutter workspace, you fundamentally altered the AI's memory.
Because the neural network relies on a context window. It's a rolling memory of everything you've discussed, which it uses to weigh its future answers.
Right.
When you inject Python logic into a Flutter workspace, you muddy those weights. So 3 days later, you'll ask it to fix a button in your mobile app, and it will inexplicably suggest Python syntax that completely breaks your build.
Which is incredibly frustrating. I've actually had that happen.
It happens to everyone.
And the solution they offer is the temporary chat, which is basically an incognito mode.
That's a good way to describe it.
You can open a temporary chat, ask your random Python question, get the answer, and when you close it, it just wipes the RAM. It doesn't save to your history, it doesn't update the AI's long-term memory, and it protects your main workspace.
It's very useful, but temporary chats are just a band-aid for quick questions.
Okay, what's the real fix?
If you want to truly architect the AI's brain for serious productivity, you have to look at projects. A project is essentially an isolated vector database.
Okay, hold on. Stop there for a second. Explain a vector database in this context, just so we're all on the same page.
Sure. When you create a project, you are establishing a sandbox. You upload your specific software requirements, specification documents, maybe your brand guidelines, your UI design files.
All the specific files for that one client.
Exactly. This takes all those files, chunks the text, and maps them mathematically into a confined vector space. When you ask a question inside that project, the AI is physically restricted to only pulling data from those specific coordinates. It acts as an absolute firewall.
Like putting blinders on a horse.
Yes, exactly. It guarantees context purity. It cannot accidentally reference code from a different client you worked with yesterday because it literally can't see it.
So it is structurally incapable of getting distracted. That is amazing.
It is.
But you can take that isolation even further with custom GPTs.
Oh, this is where it gets really fun.
Because this is where you aren't just uploading files, you are actually programming a bespoke persona.
Right.
The masterclass walked through the creation of a Flutter coding coach, and they gave it a strict hierarchy. Priority 1 is debugging, priority 2 is architecture, priority 3 is performance.
Very structured.
But the thing that caught my eye, the thing I really want to talk about, was the personality engineering.
Yes.
They instructed it to be a patient mentor when explaining broad concepts, but a blunt, straightforward consultant when providing bug fixes.
It's a great strategy.
But why? Like, why does the AI need a personality? Why not just say, fix my code?
Because personality dictates the structural formatting of the output data.
Interesting. How so?
Think about it. A generative model's default personality is polite, conversational, and frankly, verbose.
Very verbose.
If you just ask it to fix a bug, it will generate a paragraph apologizing for the error, then provide the block of code, and then generate another paragraph explaining what it did and wishing you a good day.
Right, it's adding all this conversational padding.
Exactly. That is wasted processing power and wasted time for you to read.
Ah.
When you explicitly program a blunt consultant persona, you are commanding the algorithm to strip the padding.
Wow.
It forces the output into a distinct structure. You get bullet points, the exact line of code that failed, and the direct logic replacement. You are shaping the delivery of the data to match the necessary speed of your workflow.
That is a brilliant way to look at it. You are engineering the UI of the text. But, here is the reality check.
Yeah.
Even if you have a perfectly isolated project and a custom GPT with a blunt personality, garbage in still equals garbage out.
Always.
You still have to know how to give it the initial command.
Prompt engineering is the bridge between human intent and machine execution.
Right.
The biggest error users make, returning to our very first point, is treating the prompt like a keyword search. Search engines want nouns. AI models need context, constraints, and examples.
The source actually outlines the evolution of this. Most people start with what they call zero-shot prompting, which is just throwing a naked question into the void.
A terrible idea.
Then they graduate to single-shot, where they provide one example of what they want. Then few-shot, providing multiple examples to establish a pattern.
Which is better, definitely.
But if you want to guarantee a really high-level output, you have to use a framework.
Frameworks force human discipline. They prevent you from being lazy with your instructions.
And the masterclass explores several, such as APE action, process, expectation, or STAR situation, task, action, result.
Both solid.
But the standout framework, the one that the source highlights as a personal favorite and truly manipulates the model's weights, is CRISPE.
Yes.
CRISPE. This is a monster of a framework. Context, role, insight, statement, personality, experiment.
It covers all the bases.
It really does. To demonstrate how this operates, the source used it to generate a 30-second LinkedIn video hook. The goal was to target college students about FOMO, the fear of missing out regarding careers in data analytics.
Now, without a framework, the AI would generate a highly generic, corporate-sounding script.
Hello, fellow students. Are you interested in data?
Exactly. Unusable. But by applying CRISPE, you constrain the AI perfectly.
Break it down for us.
Okay, the context grounds it. The current competitive job market. The role biases the neural weights. It tells the AI to act as an expert data analyst.
Right.
The insight provides the core narrative. Students are missing out on high-paying jobs. The statement defines the format, a 30-second video hook. And the personality dictates the tone, motivational, cinematic, Gen Z.
I love this because it's exactly like ordering at a high-end Michelin star restaurant.
Oh, that's a good analogy.
Right. You don't just walk into the kitchen, slam your hand on the steel prep counter and yell, "Give me food!"
You get kicked out.
Exactly. You talk to the chef, you specify your dietary restrictions, the flavor profiles you prefer, the pacing of the courses, the presentation on the plate. CRISPE is the exact same thing. You are guiding the chef.
You are.
But what really elevates this, I think, is the E in CRISPE experiment.
The experiment phase is crucial. In the masterclass, they didn't just ask for one hook. They asked the AI to provide 3 distinct variations to choose from.
3 different flavors.
Right.
Cool.
And by demanding variations, you force the neural network to traverse different semantic pathways.
Okay, meaning what?
It means it cannot just rely on the single most mathematically obvious string of words. It has to explore the edges of its training data, providing you with creative angles you would never have generated on your own.
That is so powerful. And the beauty of these models now is that you don't even have to write out the prompt if the problem is visual.
Oh, multimodal prompting.
Yes.
Yeah.
It fundamentally changes how the AI perceives your environment. The source gave a perfect example of this. There was a developer who was completely stuck. Their user interface wasn't updating properly.
Well, that's a classic problem.
They looked at the code, and in text format, it looked flawless. So instead of pasting the raw text and trying to explain it, they just took a screenshot of their entire workspace and uploaded the image.
This is where we have to understand machine vision. Because the AI didn't just perform optical character recognition to read the letters in the image.
It didn't just read the text.
No, it processed the spatial layout.
Yeah.
It understood the visual hierarchy of the folders on the left, the nested structure of the code in the center, and the state of the console at the bottom.
It literally read the screenshot like a human developer looking over your shoulder.
Yes. And because it maintained that spatial context, it identified the flaw. It saw that inside a specific class, the complete to-do class, the developer had forgotten to include a command called notify listeners.
Which, for the non-developers listening, basically means the underlying data updated, but nobody told the visual screen to refresh so the user could actually see it.
Correct. The AI scanned the pixels, understood the logic gap, and provided the exact line of code to insert, just from an image.
Unbelievable. Okay, so let's take a breath and look at where we are.
We've covered a lot.
We have rebuilt our workspace using Canvas and Think modes. We have quarantined our context using temporary chats and isolated projects. We have mastered our communication using frameworks like Crispy and multimodal image prompting.
The foundation is set.
We can perfectly command the AI inside the chat window, but at the end of the day, it is still just generating text on a screen.
Right.
If I want the AI to actually book that flight or actually push that code to my live website, text isn't enough. How do we cross the bridge from generative AI to agentic AI?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, this is the most significant paradigm shift we will discuss today.
Okay, I'm ready.
We are transitioning from an informational agent that tells you how to do something to a doing agent, an execution agent that reaches out across the web and performs the action for you.
And it does this through APIs and app connectors.
Exactly.
Okay, explain an API in plain English, because I know this is where a lot of casual users just hit a wall.
Sure. An API, an application programming interface, is essentially a digital waiter.
A digital waiter.
Yes. It is the standardized menu that software applications use to talk to each other.
Okay.
When you order a steak, you don't go into the kitchen and cook it yourself. You give your order to the waiter in a specific format. The waiter translates it to the kitchen and brings the food back. App connectors build these waiters directly into ChatGPT.
The masterclass showed this with Booking.com, right?
Yes. You connect your account, and suddenly the AI has the API waiter. You just say, find and book the cheapest flight for these dates.
And then what happens?
The AI formulates the proper API request, sends it to Booking.com servers, receives the confirmation, and executes the transaction autonomously.
So you never leave the chat.
Never. And the implications for developers are even more profound. The source highlights the GitHub connector.
GitHub is where developers store and manage their code versions.
Right. Once connected via API, you never have to leave the chat interface to manage your software. You can instruct the AI to review your latest code repository, write the missing documentation, create a new branch of the software, and push that code live to the server.
The AI is physically manipulating your external tools.
Yes.
But what if I want to build my own autonomous workflow, something totally custom for my own business? I have to use my own API keys, right?
You do.
And the masterclass points out that to do this, you have to go to the OpenAI developer platform and set up billing. It's totally separate from your Plus subscription.
Yes, because you are no longer paying a flat monthly fee for a chat interface. You are paying for raw, back-end compute power. The economy of APIs is based on tokens. A token is roughly 3/4 of a standard word. You are charged based on the volume of data the AI processes.
So it's pay as you go.
Exactly. The source notes it costs around $1.25 per 1 million input tokens. Plus, there's usually a $5 minimum to get started.
So you are basically paying for the exact amount of thinking the model has to do.
Precisely.
And once you have that API key, you unlock the agent builder. This feature blew my mind because it democratizes software automation. It is a visual drag-and-drop canvas. It looks almost like a complex flowchart.
It does. You're visually programming logic gates. It actually rivals enterprise automation tools like NNN, Make, or Zapier, but it possesses built-in reasoning.
Which is wild. Like, you can drag a node that says, listen for an incoming email containing a bug report.
Yep.
Then draw a line to the next node, extract the error code, draw a line to the custom GPT we built earlier, write a fix for this error using the blunt consultant persona.
And then draw a line to an approval gate. If the code passes the automated test, use the GitHub API to push it live.
You've just built an entire self-sustaining software engineering pipeline, and you didn't write a single line of traditional glue code to connect those systems. It just works.
It just works.
So what does this all mean for you, the learner? We started by recognizing the trap of the glorified search bar. We fixed it by leveraging Canvas for spatial collaboration, isolating our workflows and projects, and demanding better outputs through CRISPR prompting.
We covered a ton of ground.
We did. And ultimately, we learned that by utilizing APIs and app connectors, the AI can actually execute tasks across the internet. The takeaway is clear. If you meticulously structure your AI environment and treat it like an autonomous worker, you will eliminate hundreds of hours of manual execution.
You transition from searching for data to orchestrating workflows.
Exactly.
But this entire trajectory forces us to confront a rather unsettling horizon.
Uh-oh. What's that?
Well, we have established that AI can independently research, write code, test it, and deploy it via APIs.
Right.
It is bots communicating flawlessly with other bots.
Yeah.
If the vast majority of digital execution, booking flights, managing supply chains, deploying software is handled by API-driven agents, the internet itself begins to change.
How so?
The web was built with buttons, colors, and visual layouts for human eyes to navigate. But an AI agent doesn't need a visual interface. It just needs the API data stream.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
If autonomous agents take over the execution layer of the economy, we're moving toward a headless internet, a dark forest of machine-to-machine communication where human-facing websites become increasingly obsolete.
It is, wow.
The question isn't just what your role as a worker will be. It is whether the digital world of the next decade will even be built for human navigation at all.
Are we building our ultimate coworker, or are we building an infrastructure that simply no longer needs us to read the screen? That is definitely something to chew on. Until next time, keep learning, keep diving deep, and please stop using ChatGPT like a search bar.